Chioma, the arrogant wife. In the bustling town of Enugu, nestled in the heart of Nigeria, lived a woman named Chioma. She was a woman of remarkable beauty, known for her flawless skin, striking features, and a presence that commanded attention wherever she went. Chioma was married to Obinna, a humble and hardworking man who loved her dearly. But there was something about Chioma that set her apart from the other women in the town: her arrogance. Chioma grew up in a wealthy family, where she was pampered and spoiled by her parents. She had always been the center of attention, and she carried this sense of entitlement into her marriage. Obinna, though not as wealthy as Chioma's family, was a man of integrity and had worked tirelessly to provide a comfortable life for his wife. However, Chioma never appreciated his efforts. Instead, she constantly belittled him, comparing him to other men in the town who were more affluent. "You are not a man," Chioma would often say to Obinna. "Look at Chief Ude's wife, living in that mansion. What have you given me? Just this small house?" Obinna, ever patient, would smile and say, "Chioma, wealth is not everything. Love, respect, and understanding make a home." But Chioma would scoff and turn her back on him, convinced that she deserved more than what Obinna could offer. Chioma's arrogance extended beyond her husband. She treated everyone around her with disdain: her neighbors, the market women, even the children who played in the streets. She would walk with her nose in the air, dismissing greetings and turning away from those she deemed beneath her. One day, the town gathered for the annual Yam Festival, a celebration that brought everyone together in a spirit of unity and joy. Chioma, as usual, attended the festival dressed in the finest attire, adorned with gold jewelry that sparkled in the sunlight. But instead of joining in the festivities, she stood aloof, criticizing the simplicity of the event. "This is so beneath me," she muttered to herself as she watched the other women dance and laugh. As the festival progressed, an old woman approached Chioma. She was a wise elder known throughout the town for her knowledge and kindness. She had observed Chioma's behavior for some time and decided it was time to speak to her. "Chioma," the old woman began, "do you know that pride comes before a fall?" Chioma looked at the old woman with disdain. "What do you know, old woman? Do you think I care about your old sayings?" The elder smiled gently. "You are beautiful, Chioma, but beauty fades. It is the heart that remains. A proud heart is like a barren tree, beautiful on the outside but dead within." Chioma laughed mockingly. "You speak in riddles, old woman. Leave me alone." The elder simply nodded and walked away. As time passed, Obinna grew weary of Chioma's arrogance. Despite his love for her, he could no longer endure the constant belittling and disrespect. One evening, after another of Chioma's tirades, Obinna made a decision. "Chioma," he said calmly, "I have loved you with all my heart, but love cannot thrive where there is no respect. I have decided to leave you. Perhaps then you will understand the value of humility." Chioma was shocked. She had never imagined that Obinna would ever leave her. She tried to argue, to plead, but Obinna had made up his mind. He packed his belongings and left their home, leaving Chioma alone with her pride. Days turned into weeks and Chioma's arrogance began to crumble. Without Obinna's support, she found herself struggling. The neighbors she had once looked down upon began to distance themselves, unwilling to help someone who had shown them nothing but contempt. The market women, whom she had insulted, refused to sell her goods. Chioma's world began to shrink, and for the first time, she felt the sting of loneliness. One evening, as Chioma sat alone in her now empty home, she remembered the words of the old woman at the Yam Festival. "A proud heart is like a barren tree," she whispered to herself, tears streaming down her face. She realized that her arrogance had cost her everything: her husband, her friends, and her happiness. Determined to change, Chioma sought out the old woman and begged for her forgiveness and guidance. The elder welcomed her with open arms and taught her the value of humility, kindness, and gratitude. Chioma began to rebuild her life, reaching out to those she had wronged and offering sincere apologies. In time, word reached Obinna of Chioma's transformation. He returned to Enugu, curious to see if the rumors were true. When he found Chioma, he saw a woman who had been humbled by life's lessons, a woman who had learned to appreciate the simple joys of love and companionship. "Obinna," Chioma said softly, tears in her eyes, "I was wrong. I see that now, Can you ever forgive me?" Obinna looked at her, his heart full of love. "Chioma, I forgave you long ago. Let us start anew with love and respect as the foundation of our home." And so Chioma and Obinna rebuilt their marriage, this time with a deeper understanding of each other. Chioma became known in Enugu not as the arrogant wife, but as a woman of wisdom and humility, a testament to the power of change and the beauty of a heart transformed. The town of Enugu never forgot the lesson of Chioma, the once arrogant wife who learned that true wealth lies not in riches, but in the richness of the soul.